Jain is a simple girl whose sole aim is to be happy and to spread happiness. It's all about being content in life, and that's what leads to happiness. So everything that Avarna Jain does leads to happiness. I do a range of things. Sometimes being with my family gives me happiness, sometimes just spending time with my husband gives me happiness, sometimes just playing with my son, and sometimes I have to actually work to get happiness because otherwise I don't feel satisfied. I don't feel content with myself if I'm not working. So I have to focus on that as well. So there are different things that I have to focus on in order to be happy. I had a very conservative upbringing. I think a lot of Marwari families from Calcutta did have that. I come from a traditional Marwari family and I had a traditional upbringing with a lot of restrictions, which in retrospect I think were a great thing because it gave me a very strong grounding, a very strong backing to decide and make the right decisions in life. If I didn't have that kind of a backing, I may have made decisions differently, which I may have regretted. But thanks to my conservative upbringing, where I was taught very clearly what was right and what was wrong, but making the decision was left to me. So you learn the hard way whether to make the right decision or not. Never did my parents make a decision for me. I was educated at a convent, Loreto House, very, very conservative. Then I shifted to La Martiniere, which actually was a Protestant, so it was a stark contrast, but it was great. The experiences in both places were great. One gave me a very firm grounding, and the other one gave me the opportunity to explore different sides of me which I didn't even know existed. And after my school, I went to college in the US. I went to University of Pennsylvania. I graduated with a communications degree. That was a whole new learning experience. I think I evolved, I grew as a person. I found my own self. I became more confident of myself. When it comes to food, what happened is Au Bon Pair was actually on my college campus for the longest time. So it became a staple part of my diet, and every time I came back to India for my vacations, I found this segment was missing in India. It was a bakery cafe which had baked goods, yet it was a complete and healthy meal. When I came back in 2008, I felt this segment was lacking in India, which is why I strive to get this segment in, which was healthy yet delicious food. At that time, health food was not such a big deal in India. It's begun to pick up now. And that's why I saw that gap and decided to fill it. It's all the bakery products, the same products that we have in the US, but with an Indian touch. So for example, if I have a cheese sandwich, it won't be just a plain cheese sandwich. I'll add maybe an Indian chutney to it to make it slightly Indian and cater to the Indian tastes. So it's not Indian products per se. Yes, in my baked goods, I do serve a baked kulcha because it's a very good baked item, a very good bread item, but I don't necessarily have a chana to go with it. I have a lot of other things, a lot of other toppings. You can make a sandwich out of the baked kulcha, you can make a wrap out of the baked kulcha. So it's a little different in that respect. Well, I think the capacity is huge, the potential is immense. We're focusing on Delhi. I think we're looking at about 50 to 60 cafes at the end of this financial year. As chairperson of Young Flow, at this point in time, it's actually a very humbling experience. It's a great learning experience for me. I am the youngest ever chairperson, so there's a huge responsibility on my shoulders. I have a huge legacy that I have to uphold of this organization. They've done great work in the last 10 years that they've been in existence, and I have to strive to achieve similar standards, if not higher standards this year. I have a lot on my plate. Our aim is to empower women at Young Flow, and we strive to empower women across all stratas of society, right from the grassroots level to the upper levels. And it is not just about empowering them monetarily or something like that. It's about empowering them with a skill which they didn't have before, which will enable them to earn a livelihood. I think in today's India, the women are no longer they don't take a back seat anymore. The women entrepreneurs are as prominent as the male entrepreneurs today. Their products are of the same caliber as the products that men have. Their abilities are of the same caliber as the men. I don't think women are in any way handicapped compared to men. Well, at this point in time, my driving force is definitely my son. My motivation for everything is him. I mean, I would do anything to come back to him. I would be more efficient at work so that I can come back and play with him, give him that extra hour of playtime, finish up a meeting much more efficiently and more effectively and faster so that I can be home in time for his lunch or his dinner. Well, a typical morning is a typical day in my life is just, wake up as usual, have breakfast with my husband, wait till he leaves for work. He leaves quite early, so he leaves for work, then make my son have his breakfast, spend some time with him, and then go off to the cafes to have a look at how they are and how they're performing, how they're doing. Is the food okay? Is the quality fine? Quality is of utmost importance for us. Then come back in the afternoon if required in the house. There's any work to do, spend some time with my in-laws, with my grandfather-in-law. That's how I spend my day, just a bit of work, a bit of family here and there. My all-time favorite hobby is to cook. So any free time that I have and I have nothing else to do, I will cook. If I'm stressed, if I'm worried, I will cook. So cooking is my antidote for everything. If I'm upset, I cook. If I'm worried, I cook. If I'm stressed, I cook. If I'm happy, I cook. So it's all about cooking for me, right from breads to cakes to biryani or a kabuli or anything. As a family, we believe that when you give to society, society gives back to you. So we actually do invest a lot of time in doing things for people we think would appreciate it, would need it, and would be better off if we help them out. Whether it is there's an organization called Chaupal where it's a microfinance sort of a structure. So we give them finance to sort of buy their own sewing machines. There are these women of the backward society. They buy their sewing machine and in a year they repay the loan, and the loan is again given to a fresh lot of women, and it continues. So it's a microfinance model. So we work with them. We work with the blind school right around the corner here. Well, my message to the viewers of Indian Story is, it's okay if you say you want to go after success or you want to go after fame, but I believe that if you go after happiness, everything else follows. If you're happy in life, success is important, but it won't matter as much. Fame is important, but it won't matter as much. Whereas if you go after success or fame or money and you're not happy, the whole point of everything is defeated. So go after happiness and you'll be in a great place in life.